Welcome to the Shattered Idols podcast. I try to get a little more Wolverine-y in that. A little bit of feral energy in there. I like that one. My name is... Well, actually, last week you said that you were going to make we were both going to make Captain Beefheart names for each other.
Yeah. No, I know. I just remembered that right now.
Yeah.
No.
So you didn't make one for me.
I
made one for you.
Damn it. I thought about a few. I've like remembered that randomly throughout the week. And I'm like, I got to get back to that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't put too much thought into mine.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to say, my name is Austin. You don't have a name for me, so it's okay. Fuck you.
I think I got one, actually.
Say it.
Yeah.
Spill it.
So I'm here with, Grommet Wasp, who is hosting today's podcast.
It's Grommet Wasp. My name is Grommet Wasp, and I'm accompanied by my co-host, Flugel McAlexatargo.
Nice.
Not as good as Grommet Wasp, although it is more original, so I'll give myself that. All right, so welcome, everybody. We all listen to music here, whether we like it or not. You know, even if you don't like music, you're still going to go to fucking Dick's, and you're going to hear, like, Ariana Grande playing, or... Yeah, we used to have Target. They didn't play music, but now they also play music. So there is literally no escape from music. Everywhere you go, it's wedged into every crevice of our lives.
Nice.
And Alex and I are actually musicians ourselves. So we love music. We're aficionados of some sort. We spend most of our time thinking or talking about it, which might be a little sad to some of you. But hey, we also understand that a lot of musicians, they are... assholes, to say the least. They give us a bad rap. We understand that. We understand that the craft kind of attracts that sort of personality. Musicians can definitely be kleptomaniacs. They could be arsonists. They can be a whole lot else. But a lot of people also worship musicians. That, you know, maybe they make them that way. So if they see enough success, or if they're dressed in a cool enough outfit, people will worship these people. But rest assured, we will humanize them. We're here to humanize them and the errors in all of their ways on this show. We're not here necessarily to tell you that all musicians are scum. Lots of people in our lives are involved in music. People we love, people we call family or friends, plus ourselves. Well, we might hate ourselves a little bit, so
yeah,
that might not be the best example. But let's face it here. There are many musicians out there we can't say the same for, and some of those people have crazy stories about how they ended up back on the bottom with the rest of us after they enjoyed a long, prosperous career. So, that being said, we're also never definitively calling you to boycott bands or individuals or to put them on blast every time you see them mentioned. We're simply here to tell you these interesting or entertaining stories, whatever it may be, and you will do what you will with your new informed opinion. You might love them more. You might flag their Instagram, or you can just separate the art from the artist. Whatever you want to do, we don't care. It's your life. So, with all that said, today we are covering a man that we all know in some way or another. You may have one of these songs hidden deep in the recesses of your brain from the early 2000s, or he's a household name and you still listen to him. And the man I'm talking about today is none other than CeeLo Green.
Nice.
CeeLo Green.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, before we get into everything else, rate the show. Apparently,
get on it.
That helps. It's real easy. All you got to do is press the star button. Helps us out. That will help us achieve more of these, better versions of these, and more frequent. So, do that if you can. But also, we just appreciate you being here. We love you. So, before we get into the story, Alex, what is your relation, if any, to CeeLo Green?
CeeLo Green is my dad.
He's my second cousin.
He's my second cousin.
We're all related to him in some way.
CeeLo Green is Big Papa. I really actually just know his name. And I know some of his songs from growing up, hearing him. But otherwise, I don't know a thing. Honestly, I don't know anything about CeeLo Green. I feel like I should. I feel like most people know more than I do. We talk about not being, most people are obsessed with artists and stuff, celebrities or musicians, but I only have I only have one obsession.
What is that?
And it's Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
She's beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah. Stranger Things, that new Beetlejuice movie.
Oh, yeah.
Count me in. You know what I'm saying?
She's one of those people that just can't do any wrong. She's kind of like a Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, she's like
everybody
the
loves her.
Keanu Reeves. I thought about her because you said like kleptomaniac, and she got in trouble for stealing, like shoplifting.
Cool. Good for her.
And she was banned from like acting. She like dropped her career.
That's fine.
So we're gonna switch over and talk about that.
I can't pretend I don't steal, and or I cheat. You know, I'll put in whatever the banana code is for like a avocado.
Xbox.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to CeeLo Green here. I'm going to be calling him CeeLo for the show. Probably should call him Green, but I just like calling people by their first name for some reason. I've been doing that since episode 1. I'm just going to keep doing it. So it's CeeLo here. I didn't know anything about him before researching him. I knew the 2 big songs. Yeah. And those are, his 2 most popular songs are Crazy. That song has, here we go, 1,174,927,453 streams on Spotify as of this recording. And then the second song, Fuck You.
Nice.
Yeah, we've all heard that one. Mm-hmm. 406,489,464 streams today. You know, I see you riding around town with the girl I love.
Beef stew.
Yeah, beef stew.
I'm pretty sure if these artists would stop using profanity in their songs, he would probably have twice as many.
Well, there's
streams.
A lot of clean versions. There's just a lot of versions of that song that I'll list out pretty much every single one. But now we got to go back to when CeeLo was just a little baby.
Baby CeeLo Green.
Once upon a time, CeeLo was a baby, a tiny man. And he was born in Atlanta, Georgia, May 30th of, here we go, 1974 or 1975. Have you noticed that we got to start a drinking game around this, because there's always some like argument about when these people were born. There's like conflicting birth years. Yeah. We had that with Milli Vanilli as well. Mm-hmm. I actually know he was born in 1975, but for a while I had no idea, because I had to find some more trustworthy sources. So he was born in 1975 under the name Thomas DeCarlo Calloway Burton. That's his real name.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
Good name.
And but it's long, and no one knows him by that. So we're gonna call him CeeLo. Like I said, hello. Maybe that was a cat. No. Oh boy. Here's the daily cat call. We've got a kitty in here now.
Okay, man who screams.
And then he'll get mad and want to be let out in about 5 minutes. Okay. So, hear me out here once again. His parents were either both in the fire department, or they were both ordained Baptist ministers. They could be both.
Same thing.
So, but not for long, at least for CeeLo's dad, because his dad died of a heart attack when CeeLo was only 2 years old. And his death and absence would affect CeeLo and his music, on top of another tragic event later on. So because of that, he doesn't remember his father, obviously, but he does vividly remember other things about him, like the car that he drove. He remembers a black 1978 Cadillac Seville. Is that how you say it? Seville? Sure. With red leather interior and peppermints crammed in the cup holder. So he only really knew that, and he also knew how his dad smelled and his cologne, which stained everything that he had touched. And it was a very masculine, musty scent, similar to the smell of the leather seats in his Cadillac. So CeeLo is very proud of where he grew up in Atlanta, and he speaks of the dirty South with great fondness, despite growing up pretty rough. He doesn't see it that way, though. He considers himself privileged for growing up when he did in the mid-'80s, and getting to live in a place like Atlanta, which had such a rich history for black people and a place to thrive as well. He calls Atlanta the cradle of black consciousness, and he believes it is where the black soul feels the most at home. Those are his words.
It's kind of sick, though.
Yeah, it is cool. So CeeLo lived in the same neighborhood with other black legends, whether it was star athletes, historic musicians, or civil rights leaders. Hello? Okay, he went to school. He actually went to school with a lot of their kids. And he's surrounded by a lot of role models just from the get-go in Atlanta, which is cool. That's a cool upbringing. So his mother, Sheila J. Calloway, she actually did go to the fire department, and that was a huge deal at the time because she was one of the first 7 African-American women to join the fire department, and she was even written up about in an article for Jet magazine about the whole thing. So, as you might expect, yeah, it's cool. CeeLo's mom, she's strong, she's tough, she's an absolute hustler. She's always working to keep her family afloat. She does all sorts of jobs. She actually didn't stay in the fire department long. She quit pretty soon after joining, but she also at one point owned her own limousine service.
Nice.
Interesting change up there. She went through training to become a respiratory therapist. She was a regional membership coordinator for the NAACP. Nice. And she opened the first black-owned bridal shop in the Greenbrier Mall. She was also a preacher. So we solved the mystery. She was both a firefighter and a minister.
And everything else.
And everything else you could imagine. She drove
Doing
limos.
A lot of stuff. An interesting lady.
She's eclectic for sure. So it's in the mall, the Greenbrier Mall, where her bridal shop is, that CeeLo first starts to appreciate fashion. He was always hanging out there at the mall, and he was looking at the stores and the displays. He got kind of a knack for it. He couldn't afford nice clothes at the time, but he developed a sense of style. And with the clothes that he did have, he always intentionally tried to dress well. He wore suits to elementary school, and I don't know if you get bullied for that or respected, but I feel like in my school he would have gotten bullied for that.
I would have gotten stepped on.
Yeah,
he would have attacked me.
Creamed.
That's correct.
Yeah, you're getting kicked.
Yeah, that's awful.
Every day. You're getting a wet willy for sure. So he's always told by his sister Shadana that his father was a very suave guy, and he always wore the nicest, the cleanest, most stylish suits. He just kept up to date, on trend, all that. So CeeLo, I guess, kind of took after that.
I get it.
Yeah, he's trying to emulate his father. He doesn't have him. Yeah. Something about that right there, psychology. He also spent a lot of time at church, and especially when his mom was preaching. She had a very intense preaching style, kind of like she was being possessed by the Holy Spirit during her sermons.
Hell yeah.
And that put a bit of a scare in CeeLo and his sister Shadana. But it was at church where CeeLo was becoming well acquainted with the world of music. He sang in the choir, and he would also perform Bible raps for those in attendance.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. I've never heard of that. Probably because I'm pasty white. And white churches are the where religion goes to die.
It's where it sits
there's just nothing
stale
in there.
Water.
There is no soul in that building.
Mosquitoes grow on.
Yeah. They're like, give me money.
Yeah.
Or you're going to hell.
I need more tithings for my...
Where are my tithings?
Dude, the church is actually where you can learn. If you don't have access to anything music at all,
yeah,
but you find a church, you can learn. There's so many good musicians at churches. And
yeah, I know.
You can become a sound guy for a church, and that's there's a lot going on there. You can church drummers.
This is our job opportunity segment.
Yeah, don't get me
fellow
started.
musicians. By the way, if you're looking for employment,
well, that's churches, they seem to always have somebody, but there are so many good and very tight musicians.
I know. Whenever I meet someone that says they're a church musician,
I'm immediately scared.
I back off.
Yeah. I'm like
this
you know
guy's
more than I do.
This guy's about to school me.
Yeah.
We're on different levels here. Okay, so he's a Bible rapper. One of the raps that he would do was called Bible Break, and CeeLo was quick to remember all the lyrics, which taught all the books of the Bible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he also got pretty good at breakdancing. He learned all the moves, and he was pretty good at doing them all. He told stories. By the way, a lot of this is from his autobiography called Everybody's Brother. So this is where I got a lot of these deets of his early life. So he told stories of going shopping with his mom in Shadana, and he would disappear for like 10 minutes, and then he would go outside, and he would just break dance, and he would try to see how much money he can make in that amount of time without them even knowing. So they're in there shopping. He's out there hustling.
Yeah.
For dollars. Breakdancing. He's like a kid, too. So he's like this little kid. He's dressed as Superman. He's wearing like a Superman onesie. He's just breakdancing his heart
his freak on
while people are watching. Yeah, he's getting his freak on.
I wonder if he brought like a big piece of cardboard.
Maybe.
Put on the ground.
Yeah. How do you explain that to your mom, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my card. This is my cardboard.
This is my cardboard, Mom. I can't go anywhere without it. I'll start having a panic attack, and it's not good. So at this point, he's breakdancing and all this. It seems like CeeLo is experiencing this like really idyllic youth where he's being a good kid. He's loving life. He's got friends. He's growing up around all these role models. Everything's beautiful and Technicolor, it's great. Everything's great. But it's not quite all sunshine there because outside of church, CeeLo was embedding himself into the gang life as he grew older. So CeeLo's family, they start moving around a lot. They stay with friends, and then suddenly they're living in a nice big house somewhere. And then right before you know it, they have to ditch that big house, and then like in the middle of the night, they have to pack up and leave. And then the next day they're living with other friends. So they're kind of transient, moving around.
Yeah.
CeeLo's grandmother's house was always a safe haven, though. She lived in Cascade Heights. And his grandma actually started this big anti-drug organization called Cascade, which is like an acronym. After her husband, Thomas, passed away. Thomas was a serious alcoholic, and she started working with people struggling with addiction. And she got pretty kind of notorious here. She eventually was invited to the White House by Nancy Reagan to join in on her Just Say No campaign.
Nice.
And while all that's happening, CeeLo is doing the opposite. He's quite involved in the business of expanding drugs.
Nice.
Yeah, but his grandma is always nice and welcoming to him. I'm sure she knew, but she still let him in. So he ran with gangs. He was a player in the drug game. He stole. He got caught here and there. Did his time here and there. He was a pyromaniac, he would say, just a general maniac. And when CeeLo was only 16, another tragedy happened. His mother was paralyzed in a serious car accident.
No.
2 years later, and now we're in 1993, CeeLo is only 18, and his mother dies too.
Oh, man.
So now he's got no more parents, and this really wrecks him.
He's out of parents.
He's got no more. That's all you get.
That sucks, though.
Yeah,
that's really terrible.
Very sad. Poor CeeLo there. But that was in 1993 when his mom died. If we go back to 1991 on the music front, he's starting to make moves. He's creating relationships with people that are also interested in the music. He joins forces eventually with Atlanta rappers Big Gip,
Nice,
Cujo, and Timo. And they form a hip-hop group, and they are called Goody Mob. So CeeLo was the youngest of that lineup. So CeeLo and Goody Mob, the crew, kind of were part of this overarching Atlanta scene that was expanding. And there was a certain collective that they became a part of, and they were called the Dungeon Family. So the Dungeon Family were a big group of musicians and rappers. They were all focusing their efforts on releasing Southern hip-hop, which kind of followed this sort of funk and soul route to it. And so the name Dungeon Family was named after Rico Wade's studio. Rico Wade was the producer for the Dungeon Family, and he ran his studio out of his mom's basement. So, yeah.
It's a sick name, though.
Yeah, the Dungeon Family's cool. Wait, the Dungeon Family or Rico Wade?
Dungeon Family.
Dungeon Family.
Yeah.
Rico Wade could use some work.
It's a Hannah Montana character.
Yeah. So Rico was a part of a producer trio as well. So he had the Dungeon Family, and then he within the Dungeon Family, he had this trio of producers he worked with. They were called Organized Noise, and they were responsible for a lot of the music coming out of this collective. And one of the bands in the Dungeon Family was actually The Outcast.
Oh my god.
Not The Outcast. Outcast.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah. Starstruck. I love Outcast.
Yeah.
I love Andre 3000.
Yes.
He's great.
I like that show they used to have on
Class of 3000.
Class of 3000.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And
I love that show too. My parents did not love me watching that. So CeeLo's actually in that. We'll talk about that later.
Oh my god.
They're kind of like together for a little bit. Ran with the same crew. So they do a lot of things together. So it's here that Goody Mob and Outkast, they start collaborating. And Goody Mob gets 2 features on Outkast's 1994 debut album, which is a really crazy name. It's called, all one word, Southern Playalistic Music. Southern Playalistic Music. You know that one?
Yeah. But
It's
like
got
vaguely. I haven't.
It's got some songs on there we used to listen to, specifically on, so CeeLo and the Goody Mob, they actually collaborated on Get Up, Get Out, which I love that song on that album. And they also were on Call of the Wild. So, on both of these tracks, you can hear our boy CeeLo singing.
Nice.
Maybe rapping too. I'll be real, I didn't listen to them, but I know this album.
Yeah.
I know Get Up, Get Out is one of my favorites of that kind of genre. So 1995, Goody Mob released their own debut album, and it's called Soul Food.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's making me hungry just thinking about it. Some meat and 3. Don't mind if I do.
3.
Yeah. So the album featured Outkast, Cool Breeze, and Witch Doctor.
Nice.
I don't know any of those people except Outkast, but
Yeah,
Soul Food did very well, which is cool because they were kind of a small thing. But they actually reached a gold certification only a year later in 1996, which means they sold over 500,000 records in the U.S.
That's awesome.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts.
That's like putting you on the map big time. Like you're a player now. So Organized Noise, that producer trio that Rico's was a part of, they did a lot of the production for the record, and that was one of the things most praised about that album, Soul Food, as well as CeeLo's lyricism, which was kind of this new hard-hitting and personal singing, but it was also very old school, reminiscent of the old funk acts.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it was centered around the loss of his mother, his father, and other things. And it just kind of made Soul Food stand out as this like hallmark Southern album. And Soul Food and here we go again, Southern Playalistic Music, they were sort of put in this pairing as the 2 albums most responsible for the uprising of Southern hip hop and how it overtook the mainstream. So for a while, everything was trying to sound like these 2 records or expand on this sound. So CeeLo is, I've always known him, and I know he has big hits, but I didn't know like how big he was and how embedded he was.
Yeah, starting all that.
He's like a big time cat.
Yeah, he's one of them. One of them studio cats.
He's a high roller, man. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's successful,
I did
at least
not know
in
any
this
of this
period. So what'd you say?
I did not know any of this. He kind of helped it all begin.
Yeah, he's a founding father of sorts for this genre.
Yo, we need to get like a new Mount Rushmore, like down here in the South.
Yeah,
Down
a South
here.
Rushmore.
Down here in the South. We'll put it in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They have that big
Stone Mountain.
They have Stone Mountain.
Yeah, it'd be
isn't
great.
that like a Native American?
I
Is that?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay. Maybe
it's proteced.
Yeah, we're not going to deface that. Put CeeLo
or we could. CeeLo Green. You could see him for 40 miles away. He's smiling down upon Atlanta. Okay, that's my CeeLo laugh. So our boy here, he's continuing on with his collaborations. He's providing backup vocals for huge acts like TLC, who will probably have a future episode of their own.
Nice.
On the song Waterfalls, which is a fucking bop.
Don't get me started.
I love that song.
Good God.
Go chasing waterfall. Good shit. So in 1998, Goody Mob releases their sophomore album. It's called Still Standing. The album, you like that?
No, I've never heard it.
Okay.
I'm just like, it's a lot of these records, like the second or the third one, I feel like for a lot of artists, they're like, the titles always mean like Still Standing, right?
Yeah.
It's always like,
It's meta.
it's always like, we're still here.
Yeah.
Like
they're referencing themselves.
Yeah. Still standing, or like, I don't even know.
I know what you mean.
Back in action.
Yeah, I can't think of any specific
off the
examples.
top, yeah.
But I've definitely seen that a lot. Excuse me. So, Still Standing came out. The album charted as high as number 6 on the Billboard 200 and number 2 on top R&B hip-hop albums.
Nice.
On the business end, Still Standing did not outshine Soul Food in success, but a lot of people still loved it. It was very well received critically, just not as popular. So 1999 now, CeeLo is taking the helm on most of the creative influence of Goody Mob's next album, which is called World Party. This album, on the production end, is much bigger in scope. They're traveling all around America to the nicest studios. They go into New York City, then they're going to LA, then they're going back down to Atlanta, then they're hopping over to Dallas, just making this one album. And it's got a lot of big collabs on it, with TLC probably being the most notable, but plenty of other big players of the time putting their names on this album. And this time, World Party scored a gold certification, so that's the second one now. But it seemed to chart lower, topping out at number 48 on the Billboard 200. So give and take there, but still successful. So 1999 still, Goody Mob's doing fantastic. They're, doing these huge records with these huge people at historic studios. They're doing very well for themselves, but it's here that CeeLo takes some sort of offer with Arista Records to leave Goody Mob and to make music under his own name, sort of solo venture. So CeeLo takes them up on it, and he officially leaves Goody Mob here. There's no bad blood. It's not one of those exits. Goody Mob and CeeLo would go on to collaborate again with the Dungeon Family in 2001, but I guess he just wanted to pursue this little venture on his own. So we're still in 1999. CeeLo, this is a fun little one. He collaborated on a Santana album.
Really?
The album Supernatural. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just weird stuff all over the place. So in 2000, we're in the new millennium. CeeLo collaborated with a big name. One we're probably going to see a lot because he's so tied up in everything, and his name is Puff Daddy.
Oh my God.
P. Diddy.
Dude.
Yeah. So CeeLo sang on one of his songs, Reverse, off his album Forever. And so I'm going to say, much like the Beatles in the rock episodes, we'll probably see a lot of Diddy in these hip-hop and rap ones because he's just got his gross, oily claws dug into everything.
Grubby mitts.
Grubby little mitts. And and everyone will sign up to Arista at some point as well. I feel like we've had a lot of Arista.
Yeah.
So in 2002, it's all one little web.
After like episode 100 of this, we're gonna put like a map together, a web. Yeah, 'cause we'll know so much, and then
we should.
We're gonna get shut down for like uncovering. Like we're gonna be like, everyone.
This is mainly an experiment.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That can only be done over time. Of mapping out everyone's connections.
And then it's all going to link back to the Beatles. We're going to be like,
or share stems.
Yeah, it actually all started on one fateful night when Cher was recording some backup vocals.
That's when music was created. So in 2002, CeeLo was on his own with Arista for a few years now, and he released an album titled CeeLo Green and His Perfect Imperfections. What do you think of that one?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't love it.
Yeah.
It's just another.
I don't love a lot of his names. I'm just like, okay.
It's all right.
It's fine. It's just like kind of witty, but not really. But so
I feel like some record guy was like, do this. But it was like a guy in accounting. And he's like, oh, perfect.
It's his first week. Let him get one. Come on. Okay, so the album, CeeLo Green and His Perfect Imperfections, it seemed promising because it had all of the same ingredients and a lot of the same people helping CeeLo along. But it did not sell very well. But people seemed to like it. It just didn't really catch anyone's eye, like in the mainstream. Probably because it's not Goody Mob, it's CeeLo Green.
Yeah.
But so in 2004, he released CeeLo Green, ... is the Soul Machine. So this one was still not liking the names, but this one was a more diverse catalog, and he worked with some of the heaviest hitters around, like Ludacris, T.I., who's another episode,
Dog,
and Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's awesome.
So this one did well. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard chart for top R&B hip-hop album. And with all this acclaim and involvement with industry giants, the sales were still not up to snuff. So as a result, CeeLo is dropped from Arista.
Dang.
Goodbye.
Bye, CeeLo.
Nice try. So 2 years later, 2006, what a year. CeeLo partnered up with a friend in the music world by the name of Brian Joseph Burton, but he is known creatively and professionally, I guess, as Danger Mouse.
Yeah.
You know him?
I know that super vaguely.
It sounds like an EDM act or something.
Yeah.
Like
no,
Dead Mouse,
I'm
I
trying
guess.
to remember. I've heard about Danger. Ow. I bit my tongue. I bit my tongue. I've heard about Danger Mouse, but I don't know from what.
Yeah, I guess from this.
Well, I don't know anything about CeeLo.
That's true. Well, he is, he's around.
Is he
he's
a producer?
Yeah, I think he does production stuff.
Okay, maybe. He did something else with someone else. That's how I've heard that.
Yeah. He did something at some point with somebody.
Someone else. Oh, yeah, and that is why he's good.
And that's why we know him.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had previously met CeeLo and Danger Mouse. They met, they were performing at the same event for University of Georgia. And they were kind of working on songs here and there in the past. But in 2006, they locked in, I guess, and they became kind of a duo. And they had enough of a catalog to release some songs together. And they made a name, and the name was Gnarls Barkley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's from that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay,
Never
cool.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so a quick little sidetrack about the name Gnarls Barkley. Does it sound familiar to you?
Yeah. I don't know why. I can't
who's it
quite
sound like?
remember.
Gnarls Barkley.
It's fucking Charles
Barkley.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't know if they messed the last name up or not.
Yeah, well, there's a whole little debacle about the name here because they just won't admit that. So here's a little interview with a guy whose name I'm going to butcher, Sanjeev Bhattacharya of The Guardian. He asked them about the band name and the origins of it. CeeLo replied, "You asked me why we're called Gnarls Barkley, and I'm asking you, why not? The name Gnarls Barkley isn't anchored down. It's a drifter. A high plains drifter, I might add."
What the fuck does that mean?
Nothing.
It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, he's just doing a politician.
That's one of the first glimpses we have into how he talks. He's like a very spiritual kind of guy. He definitely leads with that on the forefront.
Okay.
He just says shit that doesn't make any sense because it sounds like psychedelic and mystical.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. You have to have, when you talk like that, well, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. But you need to have some substance behind what you're saying or know what you can't just, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It's got to at least mean something.
Say something that matters.
You can have a cool metaphor as long as it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Danger Mouse, when he was asked about the band name Gnarls Barkley, he said, "There's no story behind it. The name doesn't have anything to do with anything." So apparently, though, like the duo is very hesitant to go deep into what the name means, and they never accept that it has any relation to Gnarls Barkley.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I'm like, it's Sorry, I even said...
Yeah, I know.
I said Gnarls Barkley, not Charles Barkley.
It still makes sense, though, but...
Yeah, that's how similar it is.
There's a lot of people that have names like that. It's Com Trues. I listen to him a lot. He does like synthwave stuff and super cool.
Yeah.
His name is, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, just, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine that it's Charles Barkley.
Just let it be.
It's funny, So their debut album was soon to come out, Gnarls Barkley. But before it did, one of the songs they made, bless you. Oh boy.
I don't think this mic is picking up my sneezes this episode. That's kind of nice.
That's cool. Well, I made a big point of it, so. He sneezed. He did it. Okay. So before they made this album, or before they released this album, they actually chose one of these songs to be released as a single, and that song was Crazy.
That's great.
The song.
That's wild.
You didn't even mean to do that.
No.
Fuck. Okay, so yeah, the Crazy is now a single on this album that's going to be coming out. So most of us know that song. A lot of people love that song.
Yeah.
It's got a place in my heart for sure.
It's massive.
I mean, yeah, it's
I've probably heard it
massive.
like hundreds of times.
Yeah, me too. It plays everywhere, even to this day. It's a huge thing. So when it came out, it gained some traction right away. It was loved by seemingly everyone at BBC Radio was really into it.
Nice.
Because here's three things with BBC people. It was used in the background of a televised commercial for DJ Zane Lowe's show, which was on BBC Radio 1.
Nice.
It was named Record of the Week on BBC Radio 2.
Hmm.
And then it was named Weekend Anthem by DJ Spoonie and Sarah Cox, who were also part of BBC Radio 1. British people.
Yo, BBC Radio is awesome.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, it's, I mean, this is like tragic, but like whenever like, I mean, you probably know about this, and the listeners probably do too, but like, you got to look up like, I don't remember what it's on you, like YouTube or something, like EDM drop, like BBC Radio.
Oh, I know the one.
Like the death of, like, I don't remember, Prince.
The Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah, the Duke of Edinburgh. It's any part of the royal family or anything like that. It's amazing.
That was fucking hilarious. That used to get me so good.
I still laugh at that, but
if you played it right now, I'd probably snicker.
I'll probably have a giggle on a laugh.
Yeah. So anyway, as the song was making sweeps around the world, it was kind of an international thing. There were rumors spreading that CeeLo actually recorded the whole vocal part in one take. You probably thought I was about to say something controversial, but
yeah,
it was something in his favor. So Danger Mouse actually responded to these rumors, and he said, yeah, he had the words written on paper, and what you hear on the album was the first time he ever tried singing it. He went in and gave it a shot, really just to see what it would sound like. We just kept it because it sounded great.
Yeah.
Yes, we nailed it in one go.
Always hit record.
Always
hit record.
Always hit record, which is something I don't follow most of the time. But, oh well. Gnarls Barkley they started kind of touting themselves as this DIY project because everything up until now is being funded all on their own.
That's awesome.
And it was single-handedly thanks to the song Crazy that the duo was able to enjoy really any commercial success. So the song set a record as the first song to ever chart in the UK purely on downloads alone. The CD release was staggered a week later than the downloads, so that's how I guess they were able to track that. It was also the first song to top the UK charts for 9 straight weeks since 1994.
That's crazy.
Another famous song, for comparison, that also enjoyed 9 weeks on the UK charts was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wow.
By Queen.
Those songs are very similar.
Yes, they're so similar.
Yes, they are.
It's frustrating. One might add, it was a blatant robbery.
Yeah.
So on April 24th of 2006, their debut album, Saint Elsewhere, is released. Best name so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's released in the UK early. So on April 24th, it's in the UK. May 9th, it comes out in the States.
What is that
And
about?
I don't know. It was bigger in the UK, I guess. So
Because that still was even like, I don't know. I should probably just look it up instead of taking up time. But it's always, I'm like, is it just, I don't know.
well, they're different markets.
They are, but
So maybe,
you could just,
I don't know why you wouldn't just do it all at once. I mean, maybe cost reasons, but
isn't that for like music? There's not like regulation. There's not like that much.
yeah.
I don't know.
And it's like, it's so insignificant. It's like a 2-week difference. April 24th versus May 9th. Like, why not just do it all on one or the other? I don't understand. But I don't know. Maybe it's to create an illusion of demand. Like it exists in UK, but you can't get it here yet. And people will think it's like...
people are just going to, but just pirate it now. Like,
Well, yeah.
that's what I don't know. It's just interesting to me, but maybe you're right. Yeah.
I don't know. Something. Maybe we could ask a marketer. Any marketers out there, let us know. So on May 28th of 2006, Gnarls Barkley decided to actually remove Crazy from music stores due to the 9 weeks the single spent on top of the UK charts. So they removed it because it was too popular, and they wanted to get rid of it as a preemptive strategy to keep people from getting sick of it.
Interesting.
Too late because I'm sick of it.
I hate that song.
Yeah. So
I used to love it. Now it's just irritating.
I still like it. But
It's fun now that I don't work like retail.
yeah. I do hate Fuck You, though. That song can burn in hell.
Yeah, it got pretty irritating.
Yeah. But, so, yeah, they removed their own song, which at the time I think was a record, like, most popular song to be just, like, wiped.
Just taken, yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, CeeLo has been in the public eye for a few years. He's been enjoying success from the past. But now, I mean, he's already pretty big, as we mentioned, from the Goody Mob days. He's definitely a high roller. But now he's turned into a household name. I mean, now he's basically Bruno Mars. Like,
Yeah.
he's huge.
Well, like, you gotta, like, Atlanta, like going house to house
Yeah.
to, like, your songs being on BBC Radio. And
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy.
Topping charts in other countries.
It's very sick.
Yeah, it's really cool. June 8th, 2006, Gnarls Barkley performs at the MTV Movie, not Music, Awards. So it's the Movie Awards, alongside other huge acts of the time, such as Christina Aguilera.
Again.
Yes. Wolfmother,
Nice.
who also might have an episode one day.
Yeah.
And AFI.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. So they were, Gnarls Barkley, they were dressed up as characters from Star Wars while they performed.
Weird.
CeeLo was Darth Vader with no helmet on.
Okay.
Danger Mouse looked like Obi-Wan to me. And if you look at the pictures of this event, it looks like it's from a middle school talent show.
That's
It
awesome. That's kind of like all the 2000, like early 2000 stuff, though. So
because it was all taken on like those shitty cameras, and
yeah,
it just looks unimpressive. Everything looks unimpressive. So they're seeing more success throughout 2006. They're doing huge things with huge people. In October of 2006, they recorded a live session at Abbey Road Studios. And that's a big deal.
that's awesome.
That's the Beatles right
That's
there, baby.
really big. Yeah, there's the Beatles.
There they are. Oh, they'll come in later. Don't worry.
Actually?
They're going to be in
Are you
every
serious?
episode. I'm going to make it my mission to connect them in every
You probably.
episode.
I mean, I think we can't. That's
Yeah.
what's crazy.
Yeah, we can do it. So, Saint Elsewhere is now certified platinum.
Dang.
So that means they broke over 1 million record sales in the States alone. So in true 2006 fashion, they released a CD plus DVD deluxe edition of Saint Elsewhere, which includes a bunch of music videos, bonus tracks. But most alluring to me is that it came with a 92-page booklet, of which I can't find any fucking information on. So I have a big question here. Why is it 92 pages? If anyone out there has a copy of this, I really want to see
just
it.
tell us. Just say something.
Just
about it.
why is it 92 pages?
That's super interesting. I
Like,
wonder.
is it a manifesto?
It's like he's like, yeah, no, I don't know. But dude, they I feel like, I don't know, I remember getting like the whatever the fuck editions of Currents,
Yeah.
that Tame Impala record, and it had, it's got like a booklet in it. It's also got the B-side singles and all that.
Was it 92 pages though?
No, I don't think, probably like 15, but it has like journal entries.
That's cool.
From him like writing songs and stuff.
Yeah.
That's literally why I got it. I was like, I want to see some of the process. It was way back when that came out, and I was like, I want to see the process.
I would too. I mean, that's pretty cool. Maybe it's...
I wonder if it's similar to that,
Maybe. I feel like CeeLo is more of a long-winded kind of guy. Like, he's just gonna... I mean, he wrote an autobiography after all, so...
I feel like it might be like a small autobiography and then a bunch of like music shit like that. Maybe some pictures.
Well, I want to see it, whatever it is. If it's out there still.
Yeah, since you can't find... That's crazy. You can't find it, so...
Yeah, well, I looked reasonably hard, but, not too much. I didn't want to focus my entire life around this. So... In 2007, Saint Elsewhere is in the running for 4 Grammy categories. Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Best Alternate Music Album, and Best Urban Alternate Performance.
Urban.
Yeah. Yep. I was going to say something.
That's what that means.
Yeah. Urban means a black person touched it at one point, and they're like, it's rap.
It's...
Best
Concrete
rap album.
Jungle where dreams are made.
Yeah,
dude,
so,
come on.
Yeah,
I hate that shit.
Me too. But Gnarls Barkley, they took home the Grammy for. What do you think?
Dude, the Grammys needs to go away.
Best country album. No, it's best urban alternate performance.
Yeah.
And they also won another Grammy, best alternate music album.
Okay.
So, but even then, it's alternate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I guess for the
Just
time,
thinking about like crazy and stuff, like that's not necessarily rap.
Yeah. I feel like it's not very alternate though, but maybe the time period it was.
It's like for the time period, it's like alternative rap.
I mean, it has 1 billion plays. I feel like it.
Yeah.
That is the definition of mainstream. It's like 1/8 of the world has heard it.
Damn,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I guess repeat listens, but
Yeah. No.
It's a fun thing you can say. A lot of people. So,
I'm just thinking, like, dude,
what?
even like, it's like if the radio plays it, maybe they count it as like 10 listens, but like 500 people heard it.
Yeah.
You play it at a party, 30, 40, 50 people hear it. Like, it's probably been heard by like 2 billion.
It's reached, more than 1 billion probably.
It's nuts.
Yeah. So, crazy. What we're talking about here was so popular. It also got a lot of circulation within the film and TV world. You could also say the retail world too.
Yeah.
So radio world especially. It appeared in here. I'm going to list some of the things it's in. I don't think this is everything. There's a lot more actually. So,
Grey's Anatomy.
This is all it's. It is in Grey's Anatomy.
No way.
You guessed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's in Grey's Anatomy.
That's awesome.
You fucking crazy dude. So it's in The Big Short, Kick-Ass, Always Sunny, Grey's Anatomy.
Oh.
I Think I Love My Wife, Boyhood, Medium, Religulous. Religulous? I don't know. How to Rock, Cold Case, and many more.
Wow.
Glee.
Yeah.
It was also in Glee. It was a cover song in Glee that they did. So, to me, this is a bit of a strange pairing, but they went on tour in 2007 in the winter around just the U.S., and they toured with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Which
I don't know. I get it.
Yeah.
What year?
2007.
So I think 2006. I think Stadium Arcadium came out. Could be wrong.
Yeah, you know a lot about the Red Hots.
I do.
Yeah.
That was like
it was your ringtone for a while.
Yeah, it was. Now it's the Power Rangers song.
Very good.
But yeah, I was like 16 or like 14. I was like, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think 2006 Stadium Arcadium came out, which it would have made sense if like they. I could be wrong though, but like their earlier records, like Anthony Kiedis, definitely he's a rappy boy.
Yeah, and that's true. I forget they're like kind of they got like a foot in that whole realm with the rappier, poppier, like more.
They kind of got rid of it as time went on. But like, they still do songs from old records.
Yeah.
So they would, I don't know, it like makes enough sense because like they lean, it's like urban music.
Yeah.
It's like alternative music.
I need an urban band.
But like the way that he raps on like Crazy is
Yeah.
like close enough to the way Kiedis is rapping on like
It's like sing rapping.
like sing rapping on like Blood Sugar Sex Magic or something.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense now. I guess he won me over there. Plus, they're probably also a huge act and like would have been just like a big
That's just too huge.
elevated tour because of it.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine that Gnarls Barkley, the duo here, are filthy rich at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Seriously.
they got all these ad spots. They got award ceremony appearances, tours, royalties from all these movies. I mean, they're going on late night shows. You get paid a lot for all that stuff.
I bet.
So they got so many streams of income all of a sudden. And they also gained footholds in the Asian market as well, which is a big cash cow, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They participated in a short film, which was part of a TV series called Kung Fu, like faux leather.
Oh.
It was airing on Channel V in and around Asia, and Channel V is like a big channel over there. And this gave them spots on a tour that was put on by Channel V over in Australia. So
Okay.
on the eastern side of the world, they've got footholds too. They're just they're worldwide at this point. They're a worldwide venture.
Potentially Mr. Worldwide.
Potentially prestige worldwide. Yeah, I know.
Deep cut.
2008, which I think is when that movie came out. Gnarls Barkley. They're about to put out their sophomore album, The Odd Couple. And this is when a track is leaked. The leaked track was later found out to be called Run, I'm a Natural Disaster. And as a result of this leak, the album was prematurely released on March 18th, 2008. And that's another way you can tell that they're really popular, is that people are
Leaking.
scouring the internet and like hacking, trying to leak their stuff before it can even come out.
Let me get a CeeLo Green song stat. I can't wait.
I can't wait 2 months. I need it now. Fuck, what if there's another crazy?
What if there's... Does that make me $1,000,000? Dude, fucking...
The British version.
Yeah.
That make me $1,000,000.
I don't even know the rest of the... Yeah. Yeah, whatever. But why would you release it early if like one bit of one song?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
I guess that's... I don't know.
Just let it...
That is weird.
Just let it be out.
Yeah.
I guess like people want... Like I feel like...
Maybe it was a staged leak.
They do that.
Yeah.
That's real.
Because that would have been a brilliant idea back then. Like, not tried a lot, probably.
Yeah.
And it's like, why... If you're going to rip a song... First off, you'd probably rip the whole album, right?
Yeah, unless it's... I'm just like...
Unless it's a single. Even then, you'd have the whole song. So I don't know why you would only hear part of it, you know? Maybe it was staged. But I don't know enough about...
That's feeling fishious to me.
That is a little fishious. So we'll actually delve back into that realm soon about leaking and all that. So we can continue on that conspiracy there. Nice. So The Odd Couple comes out. This album's a little bit more experimental. It's definitely not following any sort of conventional structure that a pop record would have. And CeeLo called it an act of faith. So, like I said earlier, CeeLo's a very artistic guy, and he definitely leans into it with his eccentric personality. He's definitely an interesting kind of guy all around. So I'm not too surprised he wanted to delve more into the experimental side of things versus like making another pop record that everybody would love. But also around this time, CeeLo he sings on the Kung Fu Panda soundtrack. And, you know, that's the Kung Fu fighting song. So you got about half of him delving into the artistic world, half of him cashing that paycheck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So April 17th, 2008, there's a fun little release, I might call it. An entire album consisting of one 38-minute and 44-second track in reverse, which plays the last song of the album all the way to the first. So it's The Odd Couple, the album, but just reversed. And the name of the album is The Odd Couple spelled backwards. So cool little thing right there. A little gimmicky, whatever. But
yeah, it's just not
Yeah.
listenable. Like, I don't know.
Like, well, at first I thought it might be cool. I thought they like did something
Yeah, then
artistic
you
with
flip
it.
forward or something. I
they-
don't know.
Made songs out of the reverse versions, but I
Yeah,
think they
that'd be
literally
cool.
just reversed it. So, boo. But the Odd Couple did not rise to the same heights as Saint Elsewhere did, as you might expect, but it did actually perform decently, even though it was more experimental. It did chart at number 1 on the US Billboard for Top Dance Electronic Album, and critically, it had great reviews for the most part. It sold about 250,000 copies in the US up until 2010, and beyond those 2 records, that's a wrap for the Gnarls Barkley discography. They've allegedly been planning a 3rd album since around 2013, and then there was a little announcement that it was being worked on in 2017, and then they tried again in 2020, but COVID happened. So we'll see if we ever
Weird.
get another one.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone's asking for one at this point,
I don't think so.
but yeah, you might have missed the boat there. But I found a fun little side project, by the way, of Danger Mouse called Gnarls Biggie, where they cut up Gnarls Barkley songs and Notorious B.I.G. would rap on them. Biggie Smalls. So
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
a-
I've heard of that. I don't know. It's interesting.
you've heard of Gnarls Biggie?
I don't know. I'm just thinking because
That's a true fan thing right there.
No, I just feel like I was looking at something the other day, and it had to do with like Biggie, and like cutting up songs and then him on them.
Yeah.
I'm once again don't know exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't need to bring it up.
Once again, I don't know anything. So, CeeLo, he's pressing on. He's centering his new releases under his own name. So here's a bunch of potentially accurate dates from all sorts of sources. On either April 13th, August 14th, 19th, also August, or September 28th of 2010, CeeLo released another one of his huge hits that we pretty much all know, and it was a single called Fuck You.
I remember this.
Yeah. I know you remember. I remember it too.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Yeah, I mean, I liked it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was like, he says bad words.
he does it, and then there's like 1,000 radio versions, right?
There's so many. Yeah, I'll get into all of them pretty much. So this song also got leaked, but not to completion again. So once again, it's a snippet of the single. So I know CeeLo was huge, but I didn't expect all these people to be like ripping at him, which is another suspicious thing, don't you think? What do you think about the conspiracy right now?
It just doesn't make sense with how you produce songs.
Yeah.
You don't save like a piece of a song.
Yeah.
It's just like one file, and
Yeah.
either you have the full vocal or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he's coming back to do like the latter, like the last verse and chorus, because I don't know, his voice was strained. He's coming back in 2 days. What, you fucking hacked in within the time frame of him doing the first, like that's not even possible. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to think it was like staged.
Yeah, me too. That or they like intentionally left an incomplete version out there in the open for someone to find.
They were like, this has
This is 13 seconds.
It just has a bike lock on it, and it's you know what I mean. Like it's just you could just open this up real easy.
The password is 1234. Don't tell anybody though. Yeah. So this leak occurred on April 13th of 2010, or here's what I'm thinking: maybe that's a typo, and it was actually on August 13th, because August 14th was one of the alleged released dates for the song. So maybe the leak was August 13th. Next day they dropped it. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of the internet's fucking inconsistencies. You people are a wreck. And
It's your fault.
I'm one of them too. I'm probably getting shit wrong here and there, left and right.
Yes, history stuff can be kind of difficult.
Yeah, I know. So, as we now know, this song was a bit of a viral sensation, a bit of a worldwide hit, pretty much immediately. It got over 2 million plays in under a week. They released a music video the next week. That
I
video,
remember that.
yeah, it now sits at 126 million views today. It hit number 1 on UK charts. It was in the top 10 in 13 countries. Bruno Mars was a co-writer, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until like last night. It has multiple different versions, as we mentioned, clean versions. And then there's also versions with different lyrics. And I'm going to go through all of them now, so buckle up.
It's like remix, and then it's extended, and then it's a radio cut, and then it's clean.
It's New Zealand edit.
Yeah.
Botswana version. Okay, so there's the big clean version that a lot of us probably know. We've heard on the radio or at Target. And, well, actually, Target wasn't playing music back here. It was the good old days. If you were at Claire's or something, you would have heard it. But it was Forget You, which has almost as many streams as Fuck You, if you look.
It's for the church groups.
Yeah, definitely. It's for the Christians out there. But there were also other versions, like F You was one, which instead of switching the lyrics to something cleaner like Forget, they just silenced the fuck parts. There was another version that had 50 Cent on it called Fuck You Heartbreaker. There's a parody version that CeeLo performed on the Colbert Report, November 9th, 2010. This one's called Fuck You Fox News.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. There was another happier version CeeLo did called Thank You, with a whole new set of lyrics that appreciated firefighters.
What?
Weird song to spin up with that one.
Dude, that's awesome.
How you gonna spin it?
Dude, that is...
How you gonna spin that whole song to be like, I love you, firefighters. Thank you.
You've been driving your fire truck around town.
And I'm like,
say...
You've been driving your red truck all around town. I'm like, thank you. You save lives. I don't fucking know.
I'm like, I gotta listen to that.
There was even a sign language interpretation that a YouTuber made that amassed about 150,000 views. It now has 5.2 million views, and it's kind of sweet. At the song's release, it climbed to number 9 on the U.S. Billboard, and 26 weeks later, at the Grammys, he performed the song, and it climbed back to its newest high at number 2, which made Fuck You one of the songs, I think the song, with the slowest climb on the charts in history.
Wild.
Yeah, because it was like half a year later, it almost hit number 1. So in total, CeeLo enjoyed 48 weeks on the charts and also earned a certified gold status for the single. Jason Lipschutz from Billboard that's a weird, uncomfortable last name, but he gave Fuck You a positive review, stating, okay, here's a little quote from Jason here. He says, "It's as sunny as a 60s Motown hit and as expletive-laden as an early Eminem song." I'm giving him an armchair expert Reddit accent. Sorry. A combination that fits the singer's sky-high vocals and an offbeat sense of humor well. Over a twinkling piano line, bumping bass and steady percussion, Green shakes off a failed relationship with a gold digger by packing the simple pleasures of old-school music into tongue-in-cheek verses and a suitably soaring chorus.
Urban.
Wow. Urban.
Honestly, he kind of did nail it.
Yeah.
It does have that like sunny vibe to it. And I mean,
Motown is a good descriptor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He did hit it pretty hard, but like, I don't know. Chill out.
Chill out, Lipschutz. Yeah, shut your fucking lips, Jason. Weirdo. Okay, fuck you. I don't know why we're shitting on him so much. Okay. Fuck You was nominated for several Grammys. Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Urban Alternative Performance. And that's the one CeeLo won.
Yeah. Of course he did.
They're like, no, it's not quite Song of the Year.
It can't be Song of the Year. You know what this is?
Yeah. That one's going to Keith Urban. But we've got just the thing for you, CeeLo.
Here, we've got this like participation trophy. That's what that was when that started.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Good job, CeeLo. You won one. So the music video was up for best short form music video as well. I don't think it won. It didn't win. So Time magazine, they ranked Fuck You the number one song of 2010. New Musical Express, which is a big UK website, ranked Fuck You 112 out of 150 for their list 150 best tracks of the past 15 years.
Wow.
Okay, so crazy. However, his first hit was dubbed the best song of the decade by Rolling Stone in 2009. That's a pretty
That's bold.
That's very bold, but okay.
Those songs are huge.
Yeah,
And, like technically,
yeah.
I mean, there's no they should be on,
Yeah.
those lists, but I don't know about number.
I don't know about number
one,
one.
but
Come on. What about Ocean Man?
yeah, I know. What?
Was that the 90s? I don't know.
Couldn't tell you actually.
So the list honestly goes on and on and on about how extremely big and amazing this song was. And both songs, Crazy and Fuck You, is so big. It's hard to even talk about them.
Yeah.
And we've had to skip over a lot of releases. He's released so much more music than this, but we really only have time to cover these two.
Yeah.
Besides, we did like the origin stories. Is that your stomach?
My belly, dude, I ate something weird yesterday.
It's not like an owl.
I know.
I've been like, whoo!
I hope the mic picked that up.
Yeah, I think I heard it through my headphones.
I ate
so
some
we'll see.
pretty
I'll bring it up real loud. You ate some brie?
No, I ate some pretty gnarly, very organic food from a restaurant yesterday.
Dude, the healthiest food fucks me up the hardest.
That is exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Absolutely runs through me.
20. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give me a McDouble
I'm
with those
fine.
fucking E. coli ridden
I know.
onions. I'm
Onions,
eating it.
yeah.
I'm feeling great. God damn it. All right. So, yeah. So the album Fuck You was called The Lady Killer, which sounds half suave, half deeply concerning. It's giving me like a Jack the Ripper vibe. Like CeeLo's kind of a scary looking guy too. He kind of looks like the Penguin or something.
Yeah.
Like he's just kind of got that weird
I just like
villainous
really,
face.
It's just I always see him with sunglasses on, and he's in the music video for Fuck You. That's like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's him.
Yeah. So anyway, he's a lady killer. And so The Lady Killer was released on November 9th, 2010. Same day as the Colbert Report performance where he did Fuck You, Fox News. It was released under Elektra Records. It was his third album under CeeLo Green. The album hit the markets, already number 9 on the charts in the U.S., sold 41,000 copies in its first week, sold 498,000 copies in the U.S. by 2012, which was the last year of the Earth, and certified double platinum in the UK. Good for you. CeeLo claims the album was 3 years in the making, and he recorded around 70 songs for the project, with only 14 making the cut. So that's a lot.
It's a lot of songs.
I could never.
Not sure.
Jesus. 13 additional tracks of those 70 were put into another album that once again was leaked.
I don't believe.
It was leaked.
I don't believe this.
In June of 2010, before the actual release of The Lady Killer. So before the actual album's even out, the next album
one.
of the backup tracks is leaked. So
That
one feels
weird,
more
but real, yeah.
real because it's the whole album and it's like a weird order, like not really in his benefit promotionally. But so this leaked album was called Stray Bullets. There was one song with the B-52s on it, which is
Interesting.
a very interesting collab there. Green, wow, I called him Green. Toured following the release of the album with an all-girl backing band called Scarlet Fever.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. He did the whole late night show circuit. He did SNL. While we're on the topic of SNL, there was actually in 2013 a skit making fun of him. Kenan Thompson is him, which is actually kind of a good impression. So anyway, Metacritic gave the album an 80 out of 100, which took the average of 33 reviews from various publications. And so it did pretty well. People liked it good enough. It was nominated for the Best Pop Vocal Album Grammy, but it didn't win. I don't even think it was nominated for Best Urban. what the fuck? So it was a successful, well-received album, but I wouldn't say it was as legendary as the response to Fuck You on its own. So now we're going to go into CeeLo's lengthy filmography as an actor or a voice actor, and also just some like appearances he's made. So, all right, we're starting in 1998. We're backtracking. He was in the sitcom Sister Sister.
Hell yeah, dude.
You like that?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm fucking talking about Sister Sister all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I bring it up.
No way.
Yeah, when my girlfriend and her sisters are, I'm like, this is just like Sister Sister. I mean, it's a joke, but like, that's hilarious. That's awesome.
Well, there you go. CeeLo's in that. He had a cameo in the film Mystery Men in 1999. He voiced, oh my God, this name is insane. Okay. This is for the Brack Show, or the Brock Show. He voiced this guy called Prime Cut Miggity Mo Magdaddy Gizabang Doggy Dog Dog.
That's awesome.
What the fuck is that name,
That's
dude?
the best name I've heard yet.
That's insane. Okay. That's what I'm naming my kid. So he voiced Frank and Buddy Z in the Christmas special for Class of 3000.
Nice. God, I love that show.
Which is such a good show. And I remember playing like a Flash game on the Cartoon Network website.
Almost brought that up.
It was so fun. It was like
so
Aliens.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that shit. He voiced the table smasher, as well as a dog for Robot Chicken.
Okay.
So I guess if you watch Robot Chicken and you see a dog barking, it's CeeLo Green. He voiced Reverend Rollo Goodlove on the Boondocks.
Nice.
Love the Boondocks.
Yeah.
He was on SNL, obviously, along with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Nice.
Glee covered Fuck You for an episode. He appeared on WWE Super Slam.
Cool. That's funny.
Just picturing him like actually wrestling. He probably just sang or something, but I wish he was wrestling. He was in American Dad. He guest starred in Parenthood. He performed alongside Madonna at the 2012 Super Bowl halftime show.
Nice.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
I think my brain has just deleted him from my life. So his voice appeared in Hotel Transylvania, and he's a co-star on The Voice.
Still? Or
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But for a while, yeah, he was one of the judges.
Weird. Okay, yeah.
I think. I actually didn't look to see what he... I'm guessing he was a judge because he's a singer, not like the host.
I feel like Hotel Transylvania was like... Honestly, it probably came out a long time ago, but...
Yeah, that came out when we were probably like 10 or something.
Damn, okay. I felt like it just came out.
I don't even know. I feel like that's like a 2010 movie or something.
That and Frank and
Weenie. So I skipped plenty in that list, but there's just so many. He also had a reality show of his own, CeeLo Green's The Good Life, and it aired on TBS. So this show basically followed him and his crazy group of friends around. They were actually like the people from Goody Mob.
That's cool.
They were just getting up to antics in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, dogging down. So they got one season in, 6 episodes in, and then something happened with CeeLo that resulted in this show getting canceled, along with the cancellation or the severing of many other big-time connections.
Wonder what it was.
So there were a few things. On June 17th, 2011, a journalist by the name of Andrea Swenson, who was writing for the City Pages, which is a newspaper based in Minneapolis, she writes a review, Andrea, in the paper's live music category titled Last Night. This particular article was regarding a live performance of CeeLo that she had seen the night prior at the Target Center in Minneapolis. CeeLo was actually opening for Rihanna, and Andrea was more invested actually in CeeLo's set because she came in knowing his songs already, and she didn't know anything about Rihanna really. So Andrea was not at all impressed with CeeLo's set. For starters, Andrea didn't like one of his lines that he said in between songs, and this is what he said. So in between the songs during his set, he told the crowd, "Do you realize I'm just foreplay for Rihanna?" So this is Andrea's commentary. CeeLo Green asked the near-capacity crowd, taking a break from his lackluster set to attempt to rouse the bored audience. And then CeeLo went on to say, Rihanna's gonna fuck you. I'm just here to get you wet. So, gross.
I mean, yeah.
But, not crazy.
It's just like...
That's just... I might laugh at that.
I'd be like... That's just words that were said. You know what I mean? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
I'm just... Okay.
So, but she goes on. She says she's just doing like a review of his set and Rihanna's. So, here's a quote from her. Though Green has risen to be one of the hottest pop singers of the past year, his set at the Target Center failed to measure up to the fun factor of his recorded material. Green spent most of the set stationed in front of a mic at the center of the stage, barely moving an inch while he sang and flanked by two forgettable backup singers and a DJ that was all but hidden behind a giant LCD display. That DJ would help Green to pay homage to Prince, to whom Green professed his love during a hilarious, profanity-laden rant in which he tried to badger the audience into dancing to his songs, but the DJ was so inept that the riffs of Kiss and the finale of Green singing along to Baby I'm a Star were both flubbed and ended up skipping and then getting cut short, killing any sort of buzz that Green managed to create.
Sounds
so
awful.
The DJ was fucking up. CeeLo was fucking up. They just cut a bunch of stuff out before it was even done. Killed the vibes. So, but she actually ended up loving Rihanna's set.
Yeah, definitely.
Left with a bad taste in her mouth from CeeLo.
That sounds like an awful show.
Yeah, sounds terrible. So, CeeLo, he actually saw this article, and, he had something to say about it. So, for a time reference here, because this is pretty impressive on CeeLo's part, Andrea's article went up on June 17th, 2011 at 9:15 in the morning.
30 minutes.
Almost, dude.
Really?
The same day, a few hours later, 2:29 p.m.
Damn.
It's just he posted at breakfast. He sees it at lunch. Andrea publishes another article. So he probably said this before because she had a time to write, format, publish a whole nother article.
Okay.
Which came out at 2:29 the same day. So the article she released later in the day was titled, CeeLo Green calls me gay. Asks me if his masculinity offends me.
Whoa, that's fucking crazy.
So CeeLo had taken to Twitter to post the following response to Andrea's article for all the world to see. And I'm going to read the tweet directly. So it's at Gimme Noise. I'm guessing that's the handle for Andrea. He says, I respect your criticism, but be fair. People enjoyed last night. I'm guessing you're gay? And my masculinity offended you? Well, fuck you.
Dude, saying gross stuff on stage, I don't know. Come on, that's not masculinity. But that's pretty funny though. But he was like eating breakfast or like he's having like brunch. He's like
he's probably at a brunch place somewhere.
His team's with him. They're like, CeeLo, do you see this scathing review?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna call it gay. He's like
wait, I'll handle this, guys. No PR for Miles. So Andrea mentions in her article that this came out of left field, and while she wasn't offended, she said this, quote, this is just plain weird. So CeeLo also didn't realize, I guess, that Andrea was a woman, and he just kind of assumed that this critic was a feebler man.
Oh, he thought
using
it was
the
Andre
keyboard as a sword. Yeah, he was like, Andre, I'll show you. So it didn't take long for CeeLo to issue an apology, and it reads, apologies, gay community. What was homophobic about that? Question. Apologies, gay community. What was homophobic about that? I said I was guessing he way gay. He was gay, which is fine, but it's nice to what you think of me. I don't even know what that says. It's nice to know. Maybe you meant to say it's nice to know what you think of me.
Interesting.
Apologies, gay community. What was homophobic about that? I said I was guessing he was gay, which is fine, but it's nice to know what you think of me.
I understand it, but I
don't know.
It's like all of it's in the wrong order. I don't know.
His grammar's terrible.
He's like, I'm sorry. And then he's like, not actually.
Yeah.
It's like, what that is. Like,
It's just weird.
I don't know. That's a little bit of instability or something going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. But so, as one can imagine, there was a fair bit of backlash from that one. Obviously, many fans were not happy with this tweet. So there was later an interview held by US Weekly where they asked Green about the tweet, to which he played it off as a bit of fun, not meant to be serious, and he is quoted saying here, "I am not harboring any sort of negative feeling toward the gay community. I am one of the most liberal artists that I think you will ever meet, and I pride myself on that." So, following this, CeeLo is now in the hot seat. He's got the public and the media watching him like a hawk,
Babe boy,
awaiting another misstep. And they find one on December 31st, 2011. He's back under fire. This one is really silly to me, but anyway, this got a lot of people mad at him. So he was covering the song Imagine by John Lennon. Beatles!
There it is.
Get fucked.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yep. So for the ball drop at New York City's New Year's Eve celebration. So not just any celebration. It's the one.
That's the big one.
It's the ball drop in New York. And he's singing Imagine by John Lennon when he replaces one of the lines. Specifically, he changes the line, "and no religion too," with "all and all religions true." So people got really mad at him over this because he changed the lyrics and the meaning behind the lyrics of John Lennon's song. But, like, I can't pretend that I give a shit.
Yeah.
Because, we've done 5 of these now, and the Beatles have been mentioned in every one.
Yeah.
And I think each time we've also squeezed in how much of an ass John Lennon was.
Dude.
So I don't care personally, but I know Beatles people will take offense to it.
Yeah.
I know it makes the line not make sense. It takes the meaning away from the line.
Also, those are just words that were said
by a guy that hit his wife.
Yeah.
A lot. And yeah, and I like it's a live performance of a one-time thing of a celebration. Like, who fucking cares? I don't even notice that.
People are, listen, man, like, no, I mean, we haven't been to New York for New Year's, but, you know, he's singing that song. Everybody's waiting for the ball to drop. You're literally slammed and crushed in between people like a music festival. You're all drinking beers, and there's like a parade. I don't really fucking know, but
you're wearing a diaper because there's no bathrooms.
Yeah, people do that.
Shitting your pants.
That's awesome.
Yep, you got pooped pants.
Count me in.
You have a shit-filled diaper.
I just ate some organic, like, local beef, and I'm not doing well. Yeah. Drinking a bunch of beer. You take a sip of beer, and you miss that line. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Like, while you're swallowing, you're deafened just enough to miss that.
You're concentrating on how weird it is to pee standing up.
You've got a diaper full of shit, and you're mad about that.
You giant baby.
Good thing you're wearing a diaper so you can shit your pants again.
Fucking weirdo.
Dumbass. Okay. Anyway, CeeLo made another apology tweet. He said, "Yo, I meant no disrespect by changing the lyric, guys. I was trying to say a world where you could believe what you wanted, that's all." But CeeLo soon removed this tweet, and he replaced it with another. "Happy New Year, everybody," or everyone. "Now playing We Just Disagree" by Dave Mason.
That's funny.
Yeah, so he didn't give a shit about that one. But the Hawks are still on him, even more now, especially that you brought the Beatles into the mix.
Yeah.
Now you've got the Beatles armada, you've got the authorities, the media, TMZ, and the general public off your side. Now they're watching you like a hawk. And October 30th, 2012, he makes an actual really bad move here. A really bad move. And he's accused of sexual battery by a woman who had gone out to eat with him at a restaurant named Walk-Cano.
What?
Walk-Cano? Like walk? Like the...
Yeah.
Like China Walk or whatever.
Oh,
like
okay.
the dish or the pan that you use.
Volcano?
It's called Walk-Cano. I just thought that's a really dumb name.
Oh, the restaurant.
Yeah, the restaurant.
Dude, I thought her name was Walk-Cano. I was like, no, it's not, dude.
Oh my god, I'm looking at Walk-Cano right now.
That's so funny.
That's got to be like a chain or something, right?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I am not going to say a thing about this woman, but damn, I wanted to say something. That's her name.
That's a rough name.
Yeah.
No, she remains nameless in this. She's anonymous.
Okay.
We know she's 33 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, anyone in California knows a volcano. Just, I want to know about that. So,
yeah.
You guys have homework, the 92-page thing, and then volcano. So, back to the story here. CeeLo, he was accused of sexual battery. Specifically, he was accused of slipping this 33-year-old woman ecstasy, or aka Molly, into something she was eating or drinking at this restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman said she lost consciousness at the restaurant, later woke up naked in her hotel room with CeeLo, and had no memory of anything. So CeeLo's attorney, Blair Burke, insisted these were consensual relations between the two, but obviously this sparked almost a year-long investigation by the LAPD.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is super fucked up.
So what is... Because I guess I haven't heard that in a while, like sexual battery.
Yeah.
So like...
What is it?
I mean, I'm just thinking about all the other terms and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like, is that like assault and also...
I looked at the definition today, actually. But
because battery is like just beating the fuck out of somebody, right?
Sexual battery is forced or attempted oral, anal, or vaginal penetration by using a sexual organ or an object simulating a sexual organ.
Jesus Christ! All right, damn.
Yeah. So, I guess
maybe
that would be
like the technical term.
That would technically be forced if you drugged her and then had sex. So
no, I just like, I don't know.
I guess that's the
technical
the charge for it.
The charged word for it. Yeah, I was just wondering because
Well, they're trying to also press like rape charges on him, but they
wouldn't. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's like what
the DA for LA would not do that. I guess they didn't have enough evidence, so they did not get the rape charge, but they did try to get him with a felony charge of furnishing a controlled substance, and he pleaded not guilty to that on October 21st of 2013, almost 9 days shy of a year after this whole thing. And then I guess he's in court for up until August 29th of 2014. And now CeeLo is pleading no contest to a felony count of furnishing ecstasy, and he eats a 3-year probation sentencing. Included as a part of the probation was the completion of 360 hours community service and the attending of 52 Alcoholics or Narcotics Anonymous meetings.
Huh.
So he gets off pretty easy for doing something demented like that,
really
drugging someone and then having sex with them. I mean, technically, there's insufficient evidence, but I beg to differ.
Yeah, it's just the thing that I mean, it's like getting into almost like, I don't know, wrong word, but like semantics of it. But like, I don't know. It's just interesting because you said, or it says like ecstasy.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, I've been to my fair share of like music festivals and been around homies and stuff, and I've seen people take that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
You don't black out. I'm like, you would black out if you took like a fucking ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
So either it was something else that makes you black out, or it's almost more fucked up. It's just like an ungodly amount.
Maybe that's a way they could have lessened the charge, as if it was like a different drug that. Because then there's like, there's date rape drugs.
Yeah. When you
like
roofie,
GHB and all that.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just like, that's because they're saying that. And I feel like they have a reason they're saying that.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, that's really, really fucked. Because that's like I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah. It's really heavy and definitely fucked up no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah.
But CeeLo's never really sitting in jail for it. He's just
picking
probation.
Up trash or something.
Yeah. Doing stuff like that.
I don't know.
So 2 days later, this adds insult to injury here. On August 31st of 2014, CeeLo is back on Twitter.
Nice.
And he's digging himself deeper and deeper.
It's ridiculous.
I'm guessing he's been going back and forth with some people on there about how he's a rapist and all that because he's replying to specific users in these tweets that I have screenshotted here. And I'll just read what I have, but I'll tell you this much. It's definitely, it's not a good look here. So let me just pull it up here. So CeeLo here, he's tweeting, he's responding to people. Just kind of, it's not going to make too much sense reading it, but just kind of get the overall gist here. He said, so if I tried but did not succeed, but the person said I did, then what really happened?
Yo, that's really fucked up.
Don't be dismissive now. Engage me for the truth. You can't just say regardless in a court of law. When someone breaks on a home, there is broken glass. Where is your plausible proof anyone was raped? If someone is passed out, they're not even with you consciously, so with implies consent.
What?
And that's the one that really angered people
and
made him look like a total fucking dick. He also allegedly tweeted, people who have really been raped, remember.
Okay. All right.
So, and then he deleted his account shortly after these tweets.
That's really fucked up.
PR person saw that and was like, CeeLo, what are you doing?
Shut it down. Turn it off.
What have you done? Jesus Christ, we have no apology letter in the world for this. Anyway, he does apologize.
Well, yeah, at that point, dude.
But that's
come on,
fucking crazy, dude.
That's really gross.
That's just victory laps at that point.
Victory.
He's like,
Mario Kart.
I'm free. Now I'm gonna justify what I did.
That's awful.
But here's his apology. He releases soon after. He said, "Let me first praise God for the exoneration, fairness, and freedom." Very, very self-centered there. Secondly, I sincerely apologize for my comments being taken so far out of context, he wrote.
Okay.
He goes on, I only intended on a healthy exchange to help heal those who love me from the pain I had already caused from this. Please forgive me, as it was your support that got me through this to begin with. I'd never condone the harm of any women. Thank you. Well, you did.
You did, and then also, like, part of that apology is just it's just he's saying I'm not apologizing.
Half of it's just him being like, thank you, everybody. I'm so glad to be free.
He's like, thank you.
I'm not going to jail.
I apologize. And then whatever that was, like the third sentence was like, I'm actually not apologizing.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
He's like got a victim complex thing going.
Yeah.
Like they're out to get me and I survived the brunt.
Those tweets I made, I was just trying to be healthy in a healthy debate. Dude, you said that's a pretty, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up shit. Yeah. Anyway, as a result of all of this, he gets justice in other ways, I guess. His reality show gets canceled. He left The Voice on his own accord to get ahead of everything. But funny enough, the show and NBC as a whole was actually on his side, planning to work with him in the future.
Weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
But Sony Pictures Animation, they cut ties with him. I'm guessing that would affect something like all the voice work he did, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
So he's definitely not getting any more of that. Maybe they did Kung Fu Panda. What do you think?
DreamWorks?
Was it? I don't know. Maybe they were Sony Pictures Animation Kung Fu Panda.
Is that it?
Nope. It is DreamWorks.
Nice.
I don't know. Well, Sony doesn't want anything to do with them. I'm guessing if Pictures Animation doesn't want anything to do with them, maybe Sony as a whole. And that's a big company to not want to have anything to do with you. So January of 2014, CeeLo is performing at the Yankee Stadium for the pregame and intermission of an outdoor hockey game. It was the Islanders versus the Rangers, and he starts getting booed by the entire crowd. And overall, he was hated during the whole game.
Dude, that's funny.
Everyone just hated him and his vibes, and the hockey goers were not having it. CeeLo allegedly said that he didn't mind the angry crowd, but there's a very high-definition photo of him giving them the finger, dual-wielded.
Nice.
One on each hand.
Akimbo.
Akimbo. He also, he taunted Islanders fans throughout. He was asking them stuff like, hey, you think your ass is going to get kicked by the Rangers? And yeah, so he was a hated man that day. Some funny pictures out of it. Some public humiliation, is what he deserves. So today, what's CeeLo up to? Well, he's still putting out music, and he's appearing places here and there, albeit they're much smaller events, usually. He is, however, extremely active on Instagram, and he kind of posts as if he was either a 12-year-old or a 68-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, he's posting all these, like, 10 a day blurry screenshots of him, like, from back in the day, and there's just, like, a song over it.
How old is he now? Do you know?
Let's see.
Let's see how old he is, because he's probably posting, like, whatever his age actually is.
Yeah. He's 49.
Yeah, so he's posting, like...
Yeah.
He's posting like a 50-year-old.
He's definitely an older 49, like,
Yeah.
and how he acts. He's not with it in any way.
Yeah.
He's released some music. Most recently was an album in June 2020 called CeeLo Green is Thomas Calloway. He recorded at Easy Eye Studios in Nashville.
Oh.
The album was produced by Dan Arbach. I don't know how to say his name, but he's the vocalist / guitarist of the Black Keys.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Weird.
Very weird. But he did a good job. I mean, the album, sonically speaking,
Yeah.
is well done.
Those guys are really good.
Yeah. It's tight. Is that their studio? Easy Eye Studios?
If I feel like, I mean, I don't actually know, but I know they have a studio, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that's it.
Maybe. So like I said, like, the album sounds good. Like, technically, it's well done. It's tight. CeeLo, his voice sounds pretty good. The arrangement, I mean, like, none of it's, like, new or exciting, but it is, like, solid.
He's got money and he booked a nice studio.
Yeah, like, It was well made, well crafted. But on October 25th of 2024, just a few weeks ago, he released a single with a rapper, JT Money, called Best Is Yet to Come. I don't know about that, CeeLo. This one's not very good. His voice is heavily auto-tuned and not like in a tasteful, intentional way.
Yeah.
It's like an overworked audio engineer trying to make something from nothing.
Yeah, he got a bad that whoever was working on it got a bad vocal.
Yeah. So well, I hate to say it, but that's the end. After that, that's all I really got.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the story of CeeLo.
He
thus
put
far.
something out 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's still releasing. He's still out there. I don't know what other shady things he's done. Those are the main ones that we mentioned today that, like, are widely known controversies. I'm sure if he did it once, he's done it before. Maybe he'll do it again.
Fucking hope not.
Yeah, I sure hope not. But I don't know. You got to be pretty. Just your stomach's going crazy. I don't know. There's got to be something wrong with you, and you've got to be desperate enough or, like, stupid enough to be willing to drug someone and expect to get away with it. Like,
that's really gross.
I feel like there's got to be an escalation of sorts to get to that point, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that's something. Yeah, it's something I haven't understood. Is like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of, I mean, I'm just trying to equate it. There's, like, other things I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, I don't know what, it's like a big step.
Yeah.
It's like jumping up like 50 steps at once. It's like, how did you get there? You don't just like creep up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it can get kind of overshadowed by other crimes, but to me, like, drugging someone and taking them home, and then doing all that, that's up there with murder. Like, it's real fucked up.
Well, you just ruined somebody's life.
And you kind of need,
not, but like you did.
You need, like, the same psyche as, like, a murderer to achieve that kind of stuff, But
it's like completely there's like no empathy. They're not a person. You're just
So I don't like that about the old CeeLo there.
Don't like that.
Don't like that. Not great. I mean, he had some hits. We enjoyed them when we were children, I guess, and now they're annoying, and I don't like
Crazy.
hearing them anymore. Crazy.
I hated hearing "Fuck You" after like the first week that came out. I was over it.
"Fuck You" I've never liked too much.
Yeah.
But Crazy I did like. I do still kind of enjoy. But other than that, I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of the guy, musically or otherwise. But yeah, that's all I've got on old CeeLo here.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you have any closing remarks?
No, I just didn't know he was part of Gnarls Barkley.
Yeah.
He's like the other part of it. They're like, and I don't really listen to them or like never did back in the day, but like I definitely knew who they were.
Yeah.
Or like I've heard that name. And that's pretty crazy, but I really have no closing remarks.
Yeah.
It's like, I was saying, those are just like words that were said. He's just a guy who exists.
He's a guy out there. He made music, had 2 big hits. I honestly don't know how he got so like cemented into the mainstream for so long. Like, he was doing all sorts of stuff.
I just remember people loved him.
Yeah, I know.
Like people would be talking about it when I was a kid, when I was a little bit older. Like,
but he really is just like a 2-hit wonder. I mean, he definitely there's something to be said about Goody Mob and the pioneer aspect of it, but I don't think people really know him for that on the mainstream side of things. Like some
not at all.
Middle-aged mom and
it's not
like fucking Nebraska doesn't know Goody Mob. She knows Crazy and Fuck You or Forget You probably.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that's all we've got today, folks. And if you liked that, rate the fucking goddamn show, you piece of shit. I tried to put as many curse words in there as I could.
Right. It's just if I had to leave a review on The Guardian for what you just said, it would be a mix of Motown with a lot of profanity.
Yes, sir. Profanity laden. So thanks for listening. That was CeeLo Green. Like I said, it always helps to rate the show. That's like the best thing you could possibly do. It's free. It's easy. It takes about 1 second. You don't even have to, say anything in particular. You could say like, my feet stink, but give 5 stars, and that's just as good as like actually writing a thought out review. Yeah. And apparently we have a phone number as well. Like a generated phone number for us.
What is that? From like, people text us?
Yeah, like
dude, text us.
You can text us, man.
How?
And we will it's just one of the options that our like distributor gave us.
And it puts where does it
There's like a little fan mail section on the dashboard for the app. Yeah, so
send us fucking mail.
Send us whatever you want. We will be on there night and day.
I'm just refreshing that.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. But yeah, thanks for making it to the end. I guess that's first and foremost. If you made it this far, you're a goddamn trooper.
For real.
And we love you.
I love you.
I love you.